Yo, 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 another guitar lesson here for you. We're going to just tackle a little bit of playing over a 1-4-5 progression, and we're just going to do a little bit of a more advanced approach here. So we're going to just take a look at G major. We got the chords G, C, and D, we all know and love here. And they're in a lot of songs, so it's always good to work on 1-4-5 stuff because it just shows up in a lot of places. And so the main thing I want to kind of get across is that we're going to play the changes. So most guitar players, from beginner to intermediate, and even some advanced players, don't really think as much about the changes. They're just kind of playing, like for example, if we're in G major, they're just playing that G major pentatonic scale the whole time, and they're just kind of using their ear to guide them, which can be it's definitely cool, nothing wrong with that. But there is another approach, a little more advanced approach, if you put some time in, that will open up a lot more possibilities. And a lot of times when we just have one scale pattern over multiple chord changes, we tend to just play very similar lines over and over again. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you basically how to kind of think about playing over these chords. So it's really not complicated. It's just, if you know your G major pentatonic scale, and there I'm going to put that up in the corner there so you can see. That's the scale we're going to use when we're playing over the G major chord. So if the progression was, we'll just keep it a simple progression. We're going to go 2 measures of G, 2 measures of C, 2 measures of D, back to G. Okay, so that'll be the basic progression. And if you have a loop pedal, that would be a great thing to loop. And so that's going to be the progression. So over the G chord, that's just money, okay? That G major pentatonic is going to be really working for you. Now, the C major chord, we go to the C. Now we're going to switch to the C major pentatonic scale. Now instead of sliding all the way down here, you can if you want. I would encourage you to learn it right here. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little example here, going back and forth, just maybe G to C. Check it out. So I'll just do the chords and then I'll play over the chords, or I'll just jam with those scales so you can hear it. So you got G major and C. Now I'll go back to the G major and solo. C. Okay, so you can hear the chord movement. You can hear the chord changes, and I've done some lessons on this before, but I'm just kind of going to repeat some of this stuff, and it's so important because if you can put the time in to do this, you can come up with so much in beautiful lines, and you can sound really great and have a lot of fun. So 2 measures of G, 2 measures of C, and then 2 measures of D. What are we going to do for that D chord? You guessed it. D major pentatonic. Yeah. So basically, the reason you're playing these major pentatonics is because they contain the triads in them, and plus 2 additional notes that harmonize very well. So I'll go ahead and do another example here for you. I'll play the chords, but I'll play the chord progression with the chords, and then I'll just solo over the progression with the scales. So we got G, C, D, G, solo, that's the C, D, again, whoops, back to the top, and then you could keep playing the chords there. So that is the, now here's a way. I'm moving around a lot. Obviously I've practiced a lot and I've played this for years and years and worked on this stuff. So a way to get started, I'm going to show you guys here. Just get that metronome out. So if I was doing it with this 90 beats per minute here, I would do something like this. A 1, 2, G major pentatonic, C, D, G, now you don't have to start on one. I would encourage you to start on different. Okay, so at first maybe keep it simple. Just play maybe one octave of each scale for when the chords change to get your timing down and get the anticipation down. As you do that, you will start to see, oh, okay, you'll start to see the shapes, how they kind of overlap each other in different ways. Then you start to kind of intertwine them and start to get a little more complicated and complex with your lines. And that's when things really start to happen. So take your time with this stuff. And yeah, any comments, any questions, let me know. I do still have some openings for one-on-one guitar lessons, Zoom. So hit me up if you're interested. Peace.